Hi, today I'd like to carry on showing you a few things I've got use of, and I've got some carnivorous plants, and I've got an old cup. Now carnivorous plants, they like to be in water, so there doesn't have to be any drainage on those. So I've just used a cup for putting them in, and I think it looks quite nice. It'll be quite nice when we've got it posted up. And it can come indoors. Now the cup has got a small chip on it, and that's why it's out here, but it's a nice cup. And so it can be reused as a pot. I think this is what we've got to start doing, is rethinking of what to use things for. So we can use things again. And I've got here another carnivorous plant. And I put that one in a cup. Now you can put ones that need drainage. You can probably put a couple of holes in the bottom of the cup and put it into drainage, but again, it's just a way of using these old cups and things like that. Now there is something down here, which is the pussycat, which is lying on my dahlia bulbs, or dahlia tubers. But it's very hot in here, so he comes in here to get the warmth. So just have a quick look round. I've got some pelargoniums out here, which I bought as small little plants, and I'm just growing them on. And again, I've got some of these little climbers, small ones I've got to pot up and make them bigger. And again, they could easily be put into a cup, I think, and draping down the sides. That'd be quite a good idea. I've potted up 3 there, but I've got to pot up the others later on today. So let's have a look in the garden, because we've got some bluebells coming out. This is always an April thing. We're in April now, and the bluebells are just starting to come out. Might try to do a picture of a bluebell wood nearby, which is always very beautiful. Masses of bluebells. And here we've got my little sort of wild garden part. We're just using these branches to make a fence type thing. Then over here we've got, again, we've got some nice bluebells. And some other ones that I dumped them there last year because and they just grown out, so I couldn't find those. Anemones, I think they are, and they're very small little tubes, and so I didn't find them when I was going through all the rubbish, and they've just grown up themselves. But some bluebells. Today is quite nice weather. We just had one storm going through, and we're going to get another one shortly, so the weather is quite mixed at the moment. In here we've got the start of the grapes coming up. They're starting to come out, and a few potted up some. These I've found in the garden. A lot of seedlings you can just pull out of the garden if they're in the wrong place. Put them in little places like this, and then you can move them on to somewhere else better later on in the year. Again, we got some, even if you've got no pond, you can always have, these are water buttercups. You can always put them in a small pot. These are in small pots. They're just got no holes in the bottom, so the water's kept in there, and so you can have water flowers all around the year, just in pots around the garden. So you don't need a big pond or anything. You can just put them in pots with some water. We've got, last time I showed you, there was lots of daffodils about. The daffodils are mainly gone, but we've got tulips come out now. So these are, I think these are a type of, they're called parrot. And the good thing about having them in pots is you can place them around the garden as and when. And once they died off, like these here, the daffodils, you just need to dehead the tops so they don't go to seed. And once leaves have died down, just put them in a part of the garden and just let them die down for next year, and then just pull out the bulbs and store them for next year. Daffodils are very good at that, tulips not so good. And then we got some, I think they're grape hyacinth coming out. And these are stuff that came from last year. I put them in these things when I was digging around, and they're starting to come out now. You're starting to get the leaves showing that life is starting to come back into it. So more tulips there, but they're starting to go down now. Then we got, this is a small little apple. It's a tiny little apple. It's more like a, but it gives you nice flowers. But the apples are very tiny and not very good. And from the last video you can see that these have grown quite substantially. These are the raspberry canes. Lots of work now has to be done. This is rhubarb coming up. Then here and there we've got these odd tulips, and I think we've got some, I think they're foxgloves coming up there, so I'll leave those because they're quite nice. Attract the bees and things. Cut the grass the other day, but it's still. And when you always plant potatoes, you always get loads of potatoes, because you can never dig them all out. There seem to be one or two that you can't find, and they come up the next year, and these are potatoes that have just mixed in with the others. I'll just show you around here again. I've put potatoes in bags this year. I've just put them down in these bags of compost, and once they start growing up I can then put some more soil on top, and so they don't go green. The tubers near the surface don't go green, become inedible. So these are potatoes in there, and see how they get on. Last year they weren't too bad. They gave a certain amount of new potatoes. Now we just go over to the centre section again, just have a see what's happening here. It's quite a few butterflies floating about. So we've got lots of blue. This is April's a blue year. You've got forget-me-nots here. You've got the bluebells. Then you've got some tulips still coming down there. Lots of flying things today. Let's see if I can get that butterfly. It's flying about, but I don't know if it'll stop. Oh, there's two of them. I think they might be mating or something. And again, we've got some wood pile there, and some tiny little not sure what them are. They look like they're tulips of some sort, but I can't remember planting those. And these again, these are the plants. These are, I'll start sorting these out because they're too close together. But they're self-seeded calodonums or marigolds. Not calodonum, maybe they are. So the marigolds, it's a native marigold, not the French or the African. I'll just go over here, we can see some more plants. The garden. The shed is worse for wear. I'm not sure if it's damage due to weather or whether it's foxes, because our little foxy is still down there. So it looks like it's new soil there. You can see it's dark there but lighter there, so I think he has gone under that shed still. But I want to redo this piece, so we're going to have a bit of a confrontation eventually. Here we've got some these have done very well this year, all the types, even next doors, they've done very well. The weather must have been really, really good for this. Yeah. Sometimes you get years where there's buds and they suddenly die off. We've got some gorse here. Another spring flower, gorse. We've got white, different types of yellows. Again, we got the tulips just going over. Daffodils gone over. And this is a fritillary, I think they are called. Got that from a little bulby thing. We've got some more tulips, different types of tulip. We've got some strange shapes. Another one of those tillaries. And I'll finish it off with having a look up here. I've just planted some plants up here. It's a new bed I'm going to be starting on. And see how these grow up, take over. We had a new fence this year, so all of this was dug out, so I've got to renew it. But I hope that gives you an idea of what's happening now in the spring garden in the southeast of England. I'll see you again soon. Bye.